And we're back to the noisy studio. If you hear something in the background, my neighbor's cutting down his tree with a chainsaw. So do forget, but we gotta press ahead. We can't wait for the chainsaw to stop. Here we go. Nike Pegasus 38, first impression run in the books. I'll just say right now, 18 miles at 750, about 750 a mile. So my steezy pace. All right, that's definitely a classic steezy pace for me. But before we dive in, here we go real quick. Comment of the day and then question of the day. And comment of the day connects really well to the studio, the scoring system, what I was talking about yesterday about getting a page up on DeMoorGlobalRunning.com. Thank you, Jana, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Here we go. She says, I would love to see exactly for each category what 1 out of 10 up to 10 out of 10 means. Because I don't think I've ever seen either in your reviews, for example, ride and energy return, going through each point out of 10. Like 1 would be no energy return, uncomfortable ride, flat feeling, midsole, no snap, no bounce, and 10 would be effortless, fast, right up to the stars. It might be a little too lengthy and too much work. Jana, thank you, Jana, for the comment of the day, and I think it's an amazing point. Great ideas, going, explaining in detail. And here's the deal, just so you know, I am 100% being influenced a little bit by the American grading system, okay? So in America, anything below 60%, at least in Colorado, anything below 60% is a failing grade. So like a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. 6 to 7 would be what we would call a D, up to C, B, and then A would be, let's say, 9 out of 10. And so I'm 100%, like a 90%, if you got a 90% on a test. So I fully realize, and we continue to dial in the scoring system, just so you know, and I will make a point about the scoring system with respect to the Clifton 8 full review from yesterday, I believe it was, to the Peg 38 in a second here later in the review. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to make that point. And yes, over on Discord, okay, we are having a lot of fun on Discord. Shout out to Discord, everybody that's there. Question of the day, we're gonna go right into it right now, is how did you discover this YouTube channel? Do you remember, was it a vlog? And some people are going back into their history, like way back, and figuring out, okay, I found you, Seth, through the Western States 100, or I found you through the review of the ASICS Nova Blast 1. And just so you know, on average, there's about 100 people who are willing to give us a chance, not only me, but I'll just say the DGR family, and for those that don't know, that's DeMoor Global Running. Give us a chance here on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. 100 people, it's unbelievable. So bear with us on the score. If you're new, welcome, but just patience with learning the scoring system. And again, on the website, sooner rather than later, we'll have it all laid out, explained in detail. So Jana, thank you so much for the comment of the day. Here we go, Peg 38 twist test. Whoa, neutral, and you know what's crazy? Oh, I hope it's out here. It might be actually it might be packed. Frankly, the Peg 37. Hold on, time out, and time in. Okay, what's interesting is I have half of a Peg 37. You know what I was interested in is the outsole. Interesting. Okay, so there's half of a Peg 37. There's the actually upper right-hand corner when I opened up the Zoom airbags in the Peg. That was, should we do it again? Okay, so there's the Peg 37, half of one, but the whole Peg 37 it's either in the storage unit or it is packed. It's twisting more than I expected, okay? So definitely loosey-goosey, 100%, 33 in the heel, 23 in the forefoot, 10 millimeter drop. There's women's size 8, men's size 9 on your screen. And let's just confirm, I believe we're looking at 9.2 ounces in my size. Let's put it on the scale right now. Yes, 9.1, 9.2 in my size, which is not very good for a daily. And I'll just say right now, definitely falling into the daily trainer category. So the score, 5.5 out of 10. It's a breathable mesh, a gusseted tongue, and it is a fully gusseted tongue, okay? Now, the score for the lockdown is low because I think I posted on Strava a little wonky through the eyelet chain. You notice it's wide. It's a very wide eyelet chain. I'm not sure I love it yet, and I felt the laces, the reason the score is low, I felt the laces at the top of the eyelet chain not cutting into the top of my foot, but I just felt them right here on the top of the foot as I was lacing up the first time. Again, this is my first impression, not full review, so we'll see if that lacing and lockdown improves over the next, I guess it would be, what is it, 32 miles roughly? So yeah, next 32 miles. Overall score for the upper is better, 7.5 out of 10. Not a solid heel counter. It's definitely got some flex to it. It feels like the tongue, I wish I had the peg there. I'm sorry I don't have it out here. It feels a little thinner than last year, but anyway, that's just to the touch. Overall, oh yeah, let's talk about the toe box. I think the toe box is a little wider. I think the last, it felt a little more room through the toe box. We will hit on that again with the fit of the shoe. Moving on to that midsole, we've got the React foam with that Zoom air unit through the forefoot, okay? It's a TPE, this thermoplastic elastomer based formula to create that React midsole material. It's the same as the Peg 37, okay? Full React through the entire midsole, just so you know, from heel to toe. Let's do that durometer, okay? Yeah, okay. It's got a little more flex than sticking the thumbs in. It feels, you know what, it might be coupling with this outsole as to why it didn't feel quite as soft underfoot for the foot strike. But that midsole is definitely, it's forgiving as I'm sticking my thumbs into it. So that gets me a little more excited. But it is already creasing. I will mention that as well. What jumps out at me, if I had to say one word for the ride of this midsole, is it felt smooth. And it felt smoother with a heel strike, more so than a forefoot or midfoot strike. So as I was consciously switching over to heel striking, it did feel smooth underfoot, okay? So overall score for that midsole, I think the React, what I noticed from the Peg 37 is a little bit of resilience, meaning it's gonna go a little bit further than compared to, let's say, straight EVA. So I'm gonna go with 7.5 out of 10 for the overall score for the midsole. Moving on to that outsole, I thought this decoupled groove through the heel maybe had gotten a little bigger compared, or a little deeper compared to the Peg 37, but they appear to be the same. And the same rubber on the outsole. So I think the outsole actually has not changed, all right, compared to the Peg 37. Overall score for the outsole, it's great. I mean, it's gonna go the distance. Even though there is a lot of rubber on that outsole, because of that decoupled groove, I really like it. I like the design, I like the depth of it. We're going 8 out of 10 for the outsole. There you go. Nike fit, true to size, no issues, but I'm gonna say the heel is a little narrow. Just to the look, and even to the lacing, as I was lacing up today, it felt a little narrow through, which I like. I personally like a snug fit. I don't like to move around, but just keep that in mind. The toe box was fine. In fact, again, I think the toe box has a little more volume inside it, meaning the height of the toe box, just a little more space there, kind of like actually in the Clifton 8, what I was feeling in the Clifton 8 from yesterday. Overall comfort score, 6.5 out of 10. All right, not breaking into the 7s, nothing screaming at me. Definitely not a plush tongue. Yeah, and I think the number one thing is the lacing, and actually that's the drawback, the lacing system. I just got to dial it in, and it feels a little off at the top of the eyelet chain. But the positive is the smooth ride through the midsole. Durability prediction, 450 plus. And I think that might be a little on the low end. I think it might be approaching 500. If you take it to 500 miles, oh, please send me a photo or tag me on Twitter. I would appreciate it, just to see, especially to see a lot of different things. I guess I'd be more interested in seeing how much creasing is happening through the midsole after 500 miles. Okay, how will I use this shoe? Definitely a daily trainer. And who is it best for? Well, if you're not afraid of a little bit of a higher drop for a training shoe. That's, 10 millimeters is no joke. The next step up is usually 12. So 10 is pretty high for a daily trainer. So just keep that in mind. Okay, price point, $120. We will take it. Yeah, I think, especially considering how beefy the outsole is, I think the upper is not gonna take, I mean, $120, I see it going far. Other shoes to buy on your screen, Peg 37, $99 right now, pinch a few pennies. I don't see, I foresee that the updates are kind of like, again, I keep talking about the Clifton 8. From the Clifton 7 to the Clifton 8, just not a huge jump forward. I wish I had the Peg 37 out here. Just some minor updates to the eyelet chain from the Peg 37 to the Peg 38, and so you might want to just think about picking up the Peg 37, HOKA Clifton 8. Yeah, I'm putting it into the same category. A6 Evo Ride 2 and the Gel Nimbus Light 2. All right, there you go. Soak in the prices there. Shoe quick specs on your screen. 10mm drop, breathable mesh, React midsole foam, okay, and that $120. Early score, this is crazy. And this is what I was talking about earlier about the scoring system, and we're dialing it in. We're dialing it in. Thank you for your patience as the website develops, as the scoring system develops, and I just refine. It's all about refining and distilling down the essence of how to test running shoes and to do it in a really effective way, a very, I'll say a professional way for all of you. So at about mile 10 today, 18-mile run, at about mile 10, I just thought to myself mentally, this shoe is going to beat the Clifton 8 by a nose. I just could sense it. I could sense in the run, and sure enough, and I just so you know, I don't like go over to the Clifton 8 score and say, okay, well, we gotta move these scores around in order to bump it up to get it over it just happens naturally, and sure enough, yesterday, I think it was 6.97 for the 50-mile full review, and today we're sitting at 7.1 out of 10 for the early score, not the 50-mile review. It's just beautiful. So thank you for your patience and your trust as we get better here in the studio, okay? Onward and upward, there we go. Already asked the question of the day, comment of the day. That's it. That's it, everybody. You know what? We'll go there. Peg 37, full reveal when we tore it apart, right there, right. And again, this is why I take shoes apart, so I can compare them for future iterations. So there's the Peg 37. If you want to go watch it, oh man, that was a while ago. I guess it's maybe 9 months ago. Right there, right there, right there. Onward and upward. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.